Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Yo-Yo Store Rewind. My name is T from Tokyo-Yo. Today we're going to be looking at a yo-yo from a company that I really like, and I think they're just putting out more and more good stuff these days. Today we're going to be looking at the Raptor from Duncan. Alright, so here's the Duncan Raptor close-up. The shape is an O. It's a very, very clear O, as you can see. This is a little bit undersized. You see in my hand here, it's on the narrow side, and it's actually not completely undersized, but it's very similar in size to the original Raptor, which was smaller than, I guess, what you call the modern yo-yo shape in size. The cup is open, but you can also put caps in here. It does come with its own caps that you can plug right into the sides here. Gives it a very different feel. The material is 6061 aluminum, nothing special going on there. The feel is really comfortable. I'm a huge fan of O-shaped yo-yos, and I think this one being slightly undersized gives it a really, really nice hand feel. It's extremely comfortable on catches, even if you have like a really, really savage throw and a really hard bind. No problem with catching this one. And the look is simple. I really like how simple and classic this thing is. You've got a step in here. This kind of like bump is really interesting before the response. Inside here you just have a really simple logo, a couple cuts inside here, and just this really classic O butterfly shape. I think it's just a really nice yo-yo to look at. I think it harkens back to like a classic era of yo-yo design. I think it's just kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the old type of Duncan yo-yos. So as for the history of the Raptor, I got this from the Yo-Yo Store Rewind for review purposes, and it's pretty cool because I actually received this from Shingo Terada, the man himself, Terry, who is the designer of this yo-yo, and he's a 5A master, former world champion. Now he's over at the store in Yo-Yo Store Rewind in Shibuya, and it's pretty cool. I got it from him in person. I went out to Shibuya to meet some friends and stop by the store. I think it was really cool to get it from the man himself. It's something really, I don't know, special about it. But this was designed by Shingo Terada in conjunction with Duncan, and this is based on, or at least harkens back to the original Raptor, which came out from Duncan a long time ago, but this has kind of an updated design, a little bit more rim weight, plays a little bit more solid, and kind of alludes to a more modern yo-yo design, but still has that connection to its past form. The Raptor is really fun. I think when you first hold it in your hand, you might feel like it is a little bit too light, and it is. I think it's right around 55 or 56 grams. It's something like that. It's extremely light without the caps in. And even with the caps, it's about 62 grams or something like that. Excuse me. But once you throw it around a little bit, you're really going to feel the strength and the power of this yo-yo. It has a lot of power for being in such a little O-shaped package. It is a bit of a challenge to hit strings because it is a little bit smaller, so it's kind of good for training yourself if you feel like you're getting a little bit sloppy. That's what I've been using it for, is kind of when I feel like I'm starting to miss strings a lot or I'm getting lazy, I'll put the Raptor on my finger and just kind of train myself, try to get back into getting more accurate. It actually does grind decently well too. Even though it's an O shape, you can get your finger in there and do some grinds. Finger spins really aren't too much of a thing. It does have the open cup here, but the engraving does stick out a little bit. It kind of makes it scrape, but it's not too bad. You can still get some decent finger spins on it. It has a pretty decent spin time to it. It's not the longest spinner I've ever seen, but with the smaller design and the kind of more narrow shape, I'm not surprised by that. It's also fairly stable for its shape and design, but it's not the most stable yo-yo in the world, so it's definitely something you're gonna have to pay more attention to, which I don't think is a bad thing. I don't think every single yo-yo needs to be a V-shaped, super stable competition masterpiece. It's fine if a yo-yo is just an O shape and you kind of have to pay more attention to it. Some of my favorite yo-yos are O shapes that people would call not stable at all. One thing we got to talk about definitely with the Raptor is the caps. So this comes with a couple of caps you can put in the side. I put them in and then I took them out again to kind of get a feeling for how the difference was. So with the caps out, it has this nice power to it. It feels like this little undersized powerhouse. It has a really nice kind of ping sound when you activate the response. And then when you put the caps in, not only does it add that extra weight, but it almost makes it feel like a plastic yo-yo, and it's kind of bizarre in a way. Of course, it's kind of a biomaterial at that point because it's got metal and it's got the plastic caps on the side. But something about it, like the binds sound different, it sounds different when it's spinning on the string, everything about it kind of changes the whole character of the yo-yo, which is not a bad thing at all. And I didn't take the caps out because I didn't like them, but I did want to go back and see how it was before I put the caps in again. And I have to say, after doing both for a while, I think I prefer it without the caps. And the only reason for that is because I don't have that many small yo-yos, and I do have a lot of bi-material yo-yos, so having a smaller yo-yo that has no other plastic or anything inside of it, but that still can perform really well and still has a really nice sound and acoustics and smoothness to it without the caps in. I kind of like how light and quick it is with the caps out. But having the caps in, you know, like I said, it does change the character, it makes it heavier, actually a lot heavier. And it doesn't add any vibe or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about it. And I'll be putting up a video on my channel, Tokyo-Yo, at some point showing you how to remove caps out of a yo-yo. So in conclusion, I'm really enjoying my time with this thing. Like I said, it's this undersized little powerhouse that can get you through all your combos. It's got a really, really decent spin time to it. Not the most stable yo-yo in the world, but you know, when you're looking to train yourself and get less sloppy like me, it's a really nice thing to have. Plus it's really pocket friendly and it's hand friendly with the O shape. Like I said, I like this little bump in here before the response. It's got a couple little cool cuts in here and stuff. It kind of connects itself to its past form without being too nostalgic about the past, but also retains enough of the shape and enough of the character of the original that you don't feel like it's a completely new yo-yo, that it's been completely redesigned. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into Yo-Yo Store Rewind today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a like, a comment, a subscription. We'd really appreciate it. Take care, have a nice day, and sayonara.